What's up guys, it's Shisui. Welcome to my channel, and today we're going to talk about big...
To me, everyone's an amateur.
Do you know my nickname? If not, remember it now. It's Shi of teleportation.
Lost. Daring to challenge me was foolish of you.
So for the past week or so, I've been searching around the web trying to find perspectives and opinions on the character Big Mom. Oddly so, there isn't really any videos on this character. I thought to myself, how could that be? One of the four Yonkos, an antagonist of the previous manga arc in current anime, doesn't have any videos? Do people just enjoy Katakuri that much more? So today, let us talk about and answer the question, is Big trash? So, who is Big Mom? Big Mom's real name, Charlotte Linlin, was first name dropped by Captain Kidd after the Battle of Marine Ford, and her real name at Fishman Island. She serves as the main antagonist of the arc Whole Cake Island, as well as the captain of the Big Mom Pirates and matriarch of the Charlotte family, and she rules over Totoland as its queen. But today, we are not going to discuss things that you can find on the wiki. We're doing an in-depth dive on her character. When I really take a look back on Big Mom and who she is, I get this sense of absolute danger. Never mind about the fact her 29-foot tall body, 3 feet shy of being a literal giant that towers over Whitebeard and can fit Brooke, one of the tallest straw hats, in her hand. Never mind about that fact. I don't think we've ever seen a more sinister personification of pure demonic intentions other than Doflamingo. Of course, Toei animation is a different thing altogether. Anyways, I think because of a certain character, people tend to do Big Mom a disservice by overlooking the influence she had on the arc as a character. She's seeking to form Totoland into a utopia where all the world's races can live together in peace, in harmony, without experiencing discrimination or segregation. Props to Oda for that. She's the monumental driving force that lays the blueprints and backstories for all the characters that you enjoy. Speaking of backstories, let's talk about hers. We've talked a little bit about the utopia she wants to seek, but where does that all come from? Well, to talk about Big Mom's backstory, we have to talk about someone that influenced a lot of it, Mother Carmel and her ideology. You see, the thing to note is that Linlin was born to normal parents, even large as a child, but when she was 5 years old, she was exiled from her homeland for her uncontrollable behaviors and many casualties she unintentionally caused. And her parents were forced to abandon her on Elbap in the hopes that she would be taken in by Mother Caramel, lying to her that they would pick her up later. We're not even going to get into the abandonment issues that stirs up. But after, spending quite some time, eventually Linlin is taken in by Mother Carmel, to the sheep's house, a place where she took care of children of all race, status, and sizes. And during her stay, she was prone to physically hurting her housemates. And on occasion, she tried to help a wolf and a bear get along, but then she accidentally kills the bear after it ate the wolf. Despite her mistakes, Carmel understands and forgives her until that is one day before the Winter Solstice Festival, where things get a little out of hand. But anyways, what I'm trying to insinuate here is that through Mother Carmel, on the surface, this apparent, bright, humble, honest, warm, and caring individual turns out to be a child trafficker dealing in orphans who operated in the underworld just to be backed by the Marines or Cypher Pool agents. So you can really get a clue as to sort of the nature of the relationship she really has with these children. Whether or not Big Mom understands this at this young age, I really don't think so. Some people believe it is denial, but I'm just not so sure. But anyways, the point being is, after quite some time, she ends up killing Mother Caramel. And that's where we get Streusen. And after being approached by Streusen and taken advantage of, she becomes a well-known pirate, even earning a bounty of 50 million, then eventually 500 million at such a young age. And at 18 years old, she gives birth to her first child, and for the next 42 years, earning the title Big Mom, eventually having 85 children in total. Honestly, I feel sympathy for Big Mom. All she wanted to do was eat sweets and have fun, but because of her upbringing, an unexplained hunger demon residing inside her, she really is sick in the way that she's a product of manipulation. And in terms of mental evolution, Big Mom hasn't really changed at all. So, when it really comes down to is what may possibly be abandonment issues, emotional deprivation, her mistrust of others, and just why she's obsessed with having power and marrying off her children to bolster her crew, and to have strong blood relations. What it really comes down to is crew dynamics. Now, I brought this up before in my Katakuri video, which I'll link down below, but let's talk about it, because of the reasons why, one of the many reasons why the Straw Hats were able to capitalize on the mistakes was because of the dynamic of the crew. Simply put, they're afraid of Big Mom. What's interesting to note is that despite Big Mom's best efforts to create a family that she can be able to enjoy tea time with, it's simply not the case. What appears on the surface and what we can find as Oda dives into each individual character and some residual scarring, trauma, and warped personalities. And this stems from the leadership. She doesn't understand how to get to point A to B. She just would rather have the end result and force them if necessary. This action prompts results that frankly have only been successful because of her overwhelming strength and crew strength. I mean, how do you think Gold D. Roger was able to infiltrate her country and proceed to steal a copy of the Poneglyph? I think we can assume it's a classic matter of misdirection and using your brain and wits over brawn. I mean, they're a mess, and they overcompensate for the success that they have contributed to overwhelming strength as the main driving force of their ambitions and beliefs. Their attitude on things is a reflection of that, and as shown multiple times, even when Mont d'Or said not even Gold D. Roger himself would be able to get away. I just find this absolutely absurd, and this just stems from a classic case of the pyramid, where at the top of this, you could really see where it's all trickling down to. So how do I feel about Big Mom? Well, Big Mom is not a genius or even a smart individual, but she has her natural born super strength to make it up for her lack of realistic thinking in her childhood. And once she became an adult, she did develop high cunning and insight due to her experience in the New World. Big Mom is portrayed as a gluttonous and greedy individual who really enjoys her candy and sweets. And if she's not in her childish state of mind or in one of her hunger rampages, she's actually a decently intelligent person who is capable of making arrangements, deals, strategies, and complex plans. The problem is that she flips her state of mind so often that people just assume she's a complete idiot, especially in the sense of the Yonko. If you look at Shanks and Blackbeard, she definitely earns the title of Yonko, but simply because of these reasons, I put her at the weakest Yonko, not in strength as a pirate, but as a Yonko, an individual who receives that title, presumably upon gaining mass influence in territories. On paper, Big Mom is the best, but when you compare her to someone like Blackbeard, who's accomplished most of his goals in 2 years with careful skill, patience, and cunningness, it makes you think. But in any case, I think because of what Oda has managed to flush out, and even my gripes with Whole Cake Island aside, I can't say she's a bad character. Far from it. She's actually quite entertaining, and part of the reason why, despite Whole Cake Island being my least favorite major arc post-time skip, it makes it tolerable. She's by no means a great character. She's far from it, but she's enjoyable and certainly not trash. Okay guys, that's gonna do it for me today. I hope you enjoyed this video as much as I did making it. Like and subscribe, let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. And as always, you can find me in the Discord. I'll link in the info box, and stay tuned for my next videos.